Right now, the iPhone 17 is sitting inside Apple's secretive spaceship campus in Northern California, or is it? This phone continues to leak like crazy. In fact, there's already a video of a bend test online. Sorry, Unbox Therapy, they beat you to that one. And with all of these leaks and all that we know, is there really any mystery left with the iPhone 17 lineup? Is there a reason to stay excited and sort of stay on our toes? Let me break down the 5 or so surprises Apple may have in store for the iPhone 17 lineup and why it might be worth staying excited for some last-minute curveballs and one more things that could make the iPhone 17 super exciting. Just like I am excited about this video sponsor, ESR, and their essential iPhone accessory, their amazing screen protector, but a bit more on this in just a moment. Now look, all these leaks on the iPhone 17 lately definitely make it feel like the surprise factor really isn't there anymore. I mean, this phone is basically plastered all over the internet, and if you're annoyed by this and a little disappointed, just think at how Apple executives are feeling right now, knowing that a phone they've been working on for at least a year basically is already sort of released, in a sense, and all over the internet. It's honestly just been a pretty bad year for Apple so far. They just lost in court, and now Fortnite is back on the App Store, and Apple Intelligence is basically now sort of received by consumers as a colossal failure and kind of a big lie from Apple, and a 25% tariff could be placed on iPhones coming to the US. And with all this bad news lately, Apple really needs to sort of change the narrative around the iPhone 17. They need to make it more exciting, which doesn't help when this phone keeps leaking. But there is still something they can do, and that is build in some extra special things, whether that is in terms of hardware or software or some combination of the two. Look, these dummy models give us a great look at what these phones are gonna look like, but they don't turn on, so we obviously don't know what the software experience is gonna be, and also we don't know what internals are exactly going to be in these phones. Maybe it's gonna have the custom Apple cell modem inside, maybe there's gonna be a vapor chamber cooling system, maybe there's something else entirely built in that we don't know about. There is still a chance for Apple to surprise us here and delight us and give us something cool, and here are a couple of ideas on things hopefully we're gonna see in the next couple of months. Which sort of leads us to the first thing we could hopefully see as a big surprise for the iPhone 17 lineup, and that could be Apple Intelligence, like for real this time. And as much criticism as Apple has gotten for the Apple Intelligence thing, and as annoying as it's been to see these features supposedly come and go in terms of the release windows we were supposed to get, I think still the core idea, what Apple showed us, what Apple Intelligence was supposed to be about, was super exciting. This really great context of the AI smarts that knows your personal life, that can get into different parts of the iPhone and find photos and calendar events and find messages and things like that. The context abilities of a smarter Siri could be really, really powerful. And if Apple could somehow do a little overtime, overdrive things, and get Apple Intelligence working in time for the iPhone 17 launch, that would be very, very exciting. And I guess wouldn't really be an iPhone 17 exclusive feature, but if it could launch around the same time and really finally bring at least 90% of those core promised features to life, I think that would make people pretty excited and finally allow us to see exactly what this whole Apple Intelligence thing is really all about. Surprise number 2 that is definitely on the table for 2025 is some kind of, I guess, one or multiple camera upgrades for the iPhone 17 lineup in terms of both hardware and software. Now, there have been a couple of rumors kicking around for a couple of years now, like a true astrophotography mode that is beyond just regular night mode. This would be really giving you a crystal clear look at low light photography and letting you capture the night sky in an all new way. It was interesting. There was a picture on the official, I don't know if it was the Twitter account or the Weibo account of Tim Cook of a couple of years ago that showed this really beautiful photo of Apple Park right before one of Apple's events, and many were speculating that this was it. This was a tease of the astrophotography mode, some really cool revamped low light mode that we never got. So maybe this is the year we finally get that. Also, 8K video is becoming more of a staple feature on different Android phones, and it would make sense now in 2025 for Apple to bring that to the iPhone. So hopefully 8K video recording is something we see. Apple always does, or I shouldn't say always, but typically they do camera upgrades. Sometimes it's software stuff, sometimes it's more niche things like ProRes video support or ProRAW photos and things like that. But I think what they really need this year is some sort of like large-scale, widespread, ultra-popular feature. Like they tried to make slow fees a thing a couple of years ago, and that didn't work. They need something that sort of the TikTok generation is going to love. There is an interesting rumor that maybe one of the features of the iPhone 17 lineup exclusively would be dual recording of both the front camera view and the rear camera view, so you could sort of do dual camera recording at one time. I know there are apps that do this right now, but apparently this could be something we see as a feature for the 17 lineup. So hopefully some camera upgrades could come and make these phones a little bit more exciting in a couple of new ways, both in terms of some hardware upgrades and software ones too. And if you think about it, there are a lot of invisible parts of the iPhones, things we don't see sort of tucked behind the scenes that are essential to making a great phone experience, sort of like what a screen protector is and should be as well. Having a good screen protector is sort of an invisible shield to keep your iPhone safe, protected, and also looking great and giving you full use of that screen, which is why I love the ESR lineup of screen protectors, because they sort of check all the boxes of anything and everything you would want from an amazing screen protector for your iPhone. And for me, there are 3 reasons why I love this screen protector. Number 1 is the install process is super simple. No more are there the days of having to manually align the screen protector. That was barbaric back then. It's crazy now. You don't have to do that. You just sort of put your phone in this special little contraption. You press down, you pull a tab, and that is it. It is super clean, super easy. Anyone can do it. It can withstand impact of 100 pounds. It's gonna be way more scratch resistant, shatter resistant. It's just going to be a way tougher barrier between the elements of the world and your iPhone screen. And what I also love here is that it still gives you obviously full use of the screen. The screen still looks amazing. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's colorful. But again, you've got that added protection there. So if the phone slips out of your hand, or if you're like me, your 3-year-old just starts, banging on your phone for no reason, or something happens, life happens, your phone screen is going to be protected. So if you want to keep your iPhone screen protected, safe and secure, especially if you're looking to trade it in, make sure you don't have a damage claim on your iPhone serial number report, and make sure the screen is protected with a great screen protector. Check this one out from ESR. It's my favorite. We'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out and give your iPhone a much needed upgrade today. The third surprise we could definitely see and could be pretty exciting for the iPhone 17 lineup if Apple can pull it off would be some sort of expanded satellite connectivity thing. Now, for the last couple of years, Apple has had sort of this emergency satellite connectivity thing that was only supposed to be for emergencies. Then the narrative kind of shifted to being, well, it's something you could sort of use when you're not connected to regular cell networks, and it's a little bit less of an emergency thing, but you still have restrictions, you've got to use it sparingly. What if Apple could somehow pull a SpaceX and just give us live, real-time, fast internet bandwidth anywhere we are in the world? That's basically what SpaceX can do with their Starlink system, and something that would be awesome to see on the iPhones. What's interesting too is that we're actually now getting new details from a report from the information that says that Apple actually was working on this very thing, that back in 2015, they first started working on a home internet service provider sort of thing, sort of like a Starlink before Starlink was a thing. Then they switched to doing it for the phone, and the idea was just that you could sort of bypass the carrier and get a sort of high-speed internet connection beamed to your iPhone anywhere in the world. The problem though, long story short, is that Apple didn't want to piss off the AT&T and Verizons and the telecoms of the world, so they decided not to do that and kind of compete with them. If Apple could somehow flip the script with custom silicon or maybe some Starlink partnership and give us high-speed internet anywhere on the planet with our phones beyond just sort of the regular network stuff, that would be super cool and would really make the iPhone 17 much more exciting than it's looking right now. Surprise number 4, again, it makes a ton of sense. It's been rumored for years now, and we just haven't seen it yet, but hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the year, and that is reverse wireless charging. And I know the idea of this sort of sounds dumb, like when would you ever want to charge your Apple Watch, your AirPods off the back of your iPhone, but I think we can all sort of, admit that in desperate times, we want desperate measures, and we're willing to go to great lengths to make things happen. And if you've ever been to the gym gym and your AirPods are dead, or you're traveling and you forget a charger, if something happens, having that functionality as an option would be really nice. And again, there's no technical reason why Apple couldn't just sort of turn this on and make this a feature so you could slap your AirPods on here. I'll have mine for illustrational purposes, but just imagine AirPods are on here, bada bing, bada boom, we're good to go. And then finally, this last one might seem sort of a little obvious to some of you, but I think could be a pretty big deal that Apple really has never done. And that is to give us some exciting new colors or finishes for the iPhone 17, specifically the Pros. What's so interesting is that the iPhone 16 and the 15 and the 14, all the non-Pro phones have gotten some pretty good color palettes over the last couple of years, but the Pro phones have been particularly muted and kind of boring and lacking. If Apple could give us some special colors or some special finishes or make these phones look a little bit different, even in terms of the hue or the color, I think that would be super exciting. And usually we sort of get these leaks again a little bit before the phone's release, and we know sort of the basics, we know the materials, we know the basic colors are coming, but if they could give us a pop of color in some special ways for the iPhone 17 lineup, that would be cool, and hopefully just again give us a little something to make the iPhone 17 lineup a little bit more exciting. So I'm curious, guys, your thoughts on the iPhone 17. Given everything we know right now, are you excited for the iPhone 17 lineup? Are you not? Are you disappointed by the leaks? Do you wish that the leaks weren't as rampant and we could be more excited? Or do you think this helps to sort of temper expectations? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see ya in the next one.